Hey everybody, Greg Rice from Nexus Property Management. I'm back and I brought a beard with me. I'm growing my beard out for my new foundation. It's called Beards for Balds. So I'm going to grow out all this hair on my face. I can just grow hair leisurely and at my discretion, and I'm going to donate it to our bald franchisee in Worcester named Jesse Mayo. I'm going to just do that because I love him. And I think he loves me. So Beards for Balds. Mark Wahlberg's going to be in charge of the foundation, and you can donate every month to Jesse's hair plug fund. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about a multifamily in Woonsocket that was recently condemned by the city while it was occupied, all right, because the foundation was bowing out. And I said to myself, condemn a building that's occupied? Huh. Good house, no problems, good tenants. I said, no fucking way. And then I went out and looked at the foundation. Fucking way. I'm going to put up the pictures. Foundation's like this. Okay? And the house is built on a hill. So what's my point? My point is, properties like this were built in the 1920s, give or take, and are approaching and have surpassed 100 years old. So their useful life is gone for the most part. And you've probably seen the sagging floors, the sagging roofs, right? The decks falling off the house. These are all telltale signs that these properties don't have much left in the tank. And think about this. You could buy a two-family built 100 years ago and spend $500,000, $600,000, right? Why don't you build it? Think about that. New England is in for a rude awakening when it comes to what people choose to spend their money on. And to me, I'm already on that train. I just built 32 apartments in a church. Brand new, pristine. I got steel beams, flat floors, perfect walls, happy tenants, high rents. And I spent, I don't know, between acquisition and construction, maybe like $4.5 million. Divide that by 32 units. That's less than $150K per door for brand new construction. That's going to last beyond my lifetime. We're at this turning point in New England where all these properties are multifamily, but clearance rack is where they're headed. Or like this one, are at. This property is kind of like, I don't know if you know Nescafe, the instant coffee. But I learned about this when I went to Colombia. The coffee plantations take all of the good, right? They take all those good beans, they roast them, they grind them, they do it all. And the husks, the shell of the coffee bean is left over. And they put all that in a pile, they grind it up, and that's your instant coffee. And that's what these types of properties are becoming, the instant coffee of the rental market. Because they don't have longevity. They're going to be constant maintenance and repairs. You know, they're going to attract low caliber tenants. You're going to get low rents. These are going to be just shitholes, for lack of a better term. And that's because of their age, nothing more, nothing less. You need to kind of start to switch your mindset from, let me acquire all these doors and paint and floor and appliances. That's okay, but you need to consider now, maybe I have to do foundational repairs. Maybe I should just knock this down, right? Maybe I should take the roof off. Maybe I should, you're going to have to start to think outside of the box in order to make investments work. And just think about what I told you with my purchase of the church. I spent about $150K a door for brand new construction. You could spend $150K a door to get a 100-year-old property. Think about that in layman's terms. If I went to Best Buy and they're like, I have a brand new laptop for $2,000, or I can give you this 1996 Gateway for the same price. Which one do you want? And building is more comprehensive, but suck it up, Buttercup. Learn something. Hire somebody. How'd all these properties get built? By somebody. So don't say, I can't do construction. You can do whatever you want. If you can manage rental property, you can manage construction of a rental property. It's the same type of things. You plug in the people to the equation. They do what they're supposed to do. You manage that start to finish. And there you go. Now you've developed a new trade, a new skill. Now you've separated yourself from other investors. Okay? And for example, I just looked at the YMCA in Woonsocket. It's going up for auction. We'll put that up on the screen. And it's about 30,000 plus square feet. It comes with 3 buildings. It has a pool, right? It's a YMCA. It has a basketball court, locker rooms, the whole thing. And in my mind, I could do something with that because I have the experience with the church, because I have the experience with property management, because I've exposed myself to things that are new and uncomfortable and foreign. So then when you start to process all that data, you can kind of elevate your game. So how many people can do something with a pool, right? An empty pool and a sky bridge and no parking, right? I can, because I have the knowledge, I have the people, I have the connections, right? So look at it that way too. You're elevating your game. Anybody could buy a 2-family, anybody could buy a 3-family. I'm gonna rent it out. That's fine, but you're not adding any type of differentiator to yourself. You're just kind of maintaining the status quo. So when it comes to these 100-year-old properties, that 2-family with the bad foundation, let's knock it down. And maybe I could put a 3-family, right? Because the housing crisis, right? The loosening of zoning restrictions, the need for cities and towns to get their numbers up, to show the governor, we built 100 units last year. There's a lot of things working in your favor in that department. And I think banks and insurance companies are starting to realize this too. They know that, when the bank gives you a loan, it's for 25, 30 years. If you bought that sagging foundation property, what's it going to look like in 30 years? They're thinking about that too. So you're going to start to see, I feel, banks getting out of the lending space for certain year-old properties, or just charge you higher rates, more points, whatever. So just wanted to mention that. This was the first property that I can recall being condemned for a physical structural safety issue. Woonsocket definitely doesn't want more stuff to do. So the fact that they did this showed me that it was legitimate. And then when I went to look at it, it was. And I feel bad for those folks that were in there and the homeowner that's now left with essentially an asset that's worth pennies on the dollar. But that's the game. That's the game. That's how it works. And you got to be able to pivot and maneuver. And there's always an answer in real estate. There's always something that you can do. No matter how bad it is, there's always a move. Always a move. That's what I got to say about this. And again, if you want to donate to Beards for Bulbs, let Jesse know. Once again, Greg Rice, not in the bucket. Your property and your condemned property manage.